Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. All right. We're getting down with a PB&J, and I'm going to talk with you guys while I make a snack. So, hi. My name is Jeremy, and I'm going to make a YouTube video for you guys. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be the pay that a lease operator gets. Specifically, industry benchmarks and my own personal pay. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the average net income for a lease operator. You know, my peers and people that are, you know, kind of in my demographic of drivers. I'll share their average pay. I'm also going to share Roehl's policy on pay transparency and their pay structure for their lease operators. From there, I'm going to talk about my personal pay with my miles, and then I'm going to wrap everything up with just, you know, my thoughts and opinions. So if that sounds like something you're going to be interested in, come along for the ride, and I'll get right into it. I'm always a heavy peanut butter guy and a light jelly guy. I don't know if how you guys like your PB&Js, but I'm going to make me a PB&J and go light on the jam. Coming strong and fresh with the grape jelly today. Oh, that wasn't so light. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll make do. It's more like grape Kool-Aid. This jelly was hot. I'm sitting in a hot truck. But, all right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a voiceover on some graphs. So, check it out. Here's some images. Here's some voiceovers. Jump right into it. Here's the net.
Here is the average of over 25,000 different independent contractors, from the mega carriers to the fancy government contracts with their trucks all paid.
All right, I'm back now. From there, let's go ahead and get into Roehl's policy on pay transparency and their pay structure for lease operators. Well, I'm going to go ahead and link an article. There's a nice article that you guys might like. These links are going to have a lot of good stuff in them, so you're going to want to check them out. I'm going to link the entire presentation for the benchmark from ATBS. So this is a really great resource. Check them out. There's a lot of great information. There's a lot of those, you know, juicy graphs. I don't know. I guess some of those sexy graphs. If you're a nerd, you know what I'll mean, because this is some good information. Coming back, let's go ahead and take a look now at my personal pay. So I'm going to go ahead and dig up some information here and do the voiceover.
Okay, for this you need to add the mileage rate plus any of the empty mile rate and the loaded mile rate for your fuel surcharge to get your total rate.
All right, so that's where I'm at right now financially. It's not bad. I have a good setup. I wanted to highlight that this is my 5th year in the lease. So I finished the 4-year lease and signed a new lease agreement to, instead of paying the lump sum at the end of the lease, I just continued to make lease payments. And I'll still have a buyout at the end of this contract, which is only 9 months. So it wasn't quite a year. It was a 9-month contract, but the buyout was like half. So I went from like 20,000 to under 10,000, like 9,000, something like that. So I'll get the title here in September, and I'm going to go ahead and finish up with just my thoughts on the experience and what you want to look for when you're leasing. So if you're considering leasing, I would definitely do your research as far as what to expect. I think a lot of people are going to get into it thinking that they're going to make a lot more money than they actually do, especially starting out. you're starting out leasing, your truck is still fresh, you still got a lot of potential, a lot of miles to put on that, and as that equipment ages, the price of maintenance is going to increase. So when your truck is fresh, save as much money as you can for when that thing breaks, because it's going to break. It's just a matter of time. What else? I would say pay yourself about as much as a company driver, or maybe even a little bit less. What else? During a lease, avoid making your personal debt to income or your personal financial obligations any higher than they need to be. Right? Don't go out buying new cars or getting big car notes like I did, because that made it a lot more challenging than it needed to be. I could have had a lot less stressful experience if I wasn't worrying about making ends meet at home. And I think a lot of it was just poor financial management on my part. And so don't buy cars, keep your personal debt income low, and balance home time with work time. So you'll see my miles went down as these years went on, and that was because I was just taking more time at home. I found a nice setup, a nice routine. I was able to make ends meet and spend a lot of time at home, and that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to have that work-home life balance. What else? As far as standards for leasing, in my opinion, and this is based on nothing other than the people that I would hire, because I don't know the quantity of drivers that Roehl onboards to their lease program. So if you're interested in leasing with Roehl specifically, go to their website. I'll even link it down there in the description as well too. You can look at the requirements that they say. But I would look at people's work history. Obviously, they'd have to have a clean record. They'd have to have demonstrated the ability to operate safely within Roehl. So ideally, I'm taking a company driver and elevating them into the lease operator position, because they've already demonstrated their ability to operate the equipment safely for at least a year. I want to see at least a year with us and a year of consistency. I would also consider their credit score not necessarily a deal breaker if it's a bad score, but it would be a good or a potential red flag. Like, hey, if you're the type of person that's just been living paycheck to paycheck your entire life, this is going to be a little bit more of a challenging experience for you. Just like if you're the type of person that wants to be home a lot, this is going to be a little bit more challenging as well. So if you're okay staying out long amount of time, then that's a green flag, right? Because if you're living life on the road, then you're probably going to be making more money, and you're going to have an easier time because you're not restricted to loads that might put you in a bad zone depending on where you live. If it's a low freight area, or overall decrease your productivity, because that's what this is we're talking about here. What else? For criteria, I would say professionalism, their capacity, like their personal driving record, of course, is going to factor into it. But I also want to see how they are under pressure, like their conflict resolution and just their overall character. I think will be, that's why I wanted, to work with them first. I wanted a year with them. I want to see what their safety record looks like. I want to see how they resolve challenging customers. And I want to know these things before I put somebody there, because there's a lot of lease operators that tap out and quit. Maybe it could be some major mechanical failure or issue that cost more than they could afford to repair, or it could be some other reasons. But I think the big reason is the financial expectation. They thought they were going to make more money, and it turns out they're having a couple hard weeks and they're losing money. And so they're like, well, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go back to being a company driver with that safety and that security. But all that being said, I'm going to end it here. It's pushing 10, 11 minutes right now. So if you stuck around this far, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. And I'll go ahead and start editing this, and see you in the next one. Hey guys, real quick, if you wanted to support the channel, then check out today's sponsor. It's Truck Parking Club, truckparkingclub.com. They're out there doing the Lord's work, making new spots for truckers to park at safely at night. So check them out with my code Rhames20 and you'll save $20 off the first time you use it. That's probably a free spot because most of them are under $20, but it's a good deal anyway. Go out there and get a free premium spot. Check them out. Rhames20, truckparkingclub.com.